Is she, wait, are you sharing your screen by chance?
No.
Whoops, didn't I mean to do that.
Darren, this is Barry Gold with my ERP. And
Barry, I
Joe,
see your lips moving, but your voice is not coming in very strong.
okay, can you hear me a little better now?
Much better. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I need to get a little closer to my computer. Joe, Gloria, and I are going to be doing a presentation. We don't have any slides or anything. We're just going to be talking about voting options. So he signed in, I see, but I'm not sure whether he's actually listening. He had a prior commitment. He knows we don't start until about 9:50. So, but we don't need to share our screen or do anything like that. It'll just be the Joe and Barry show talking about the voting options here in Clark County. So,
Awesome. That is what my notes have. I appreciate you reminding me. And hopefully we'll be able to get the sound right because your voice is kind of going in and out.
what
So
I
I'm
think
not
I'll
sure
do
if
when it gets closer to doing it, I'm going to use my headset. My headset works a whole lot better. But I actually have to jump on a legislative meeting. The prescription drug meeting starts right now, and I have to do public comment at 9:05. So that I will come back, I will listen, and I'll put my headset on, and you'll hear me much better. So anyway, hello, Angel. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
I have to apologize because I did not hear a word you said.
I was going to say I have to jump off and I have to do public comment at a legislative committee on prescription drugs. It's happening right around right now, but then I will come back and be ready for 9:50 with my headset on.
All right. Well, 9:50. I'll look forward to your presentation along with Joe. And, hopefully your meeting between now and then goes well. We appreciate your participation. And we'll
Terrific.
see you in a little bit. And hopefully
Thank
your
you.
headphones allow it to work better.
They will.
All right. Till then. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is just after 9 o'clock. My name is Darren Mitchell. I am a part of the membership committee here at the Urban Chamber of Commerce. What I would like to do is take this opportunity to, first of all, welcome everyone and thank you for joining us this morning. As you just heard, we have some great speakers who I'm sure we'll be able to hear them speak in a moment. Also, we're going to, in just a few moments, give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves. And Brenda Gale, I owe you a huge apology because I did not look at that information yet. My week got away from me, so shame on me. I'll let her tell you what she does, and you'll know why I wanted to make sure I took a look at that information. In the meantime, what I will also do is, if you are here now and you're wanting someone to join us, or there's someone who needs to see this information and be here with us, on the bottom of your screen, you can click the participants button, and it should pop up the list of all the folks that are here. And at the bottom of that, you should see a button that says invite, where you can shoot an email to someone, and that will give them the link to join us here. And hopefully their screen will populate correctly, because I'm not sure why it's not. Why Monique's isn't, but that's okay. We're gonna get it worked out. I went ahead and turned off her camera, and she can start it up at her leisure. That way we're not seeing a mirror image of everything. Yeah, it's on. She can't be sharing screen because it wouldn't be just in her screen. That's quite unusual.
I know Rashonda's sending her own link. So
okay.
Yeah, Monique, you can probably log off of the link I sent you and then rejoin with the new link that Rashonda is sending.
Okay.
That is clever. In the meantime, it is just about a little bit after 9, and so I'm going to do my best to help us remain punctual, especially since we have some scheduling changes here. Normally, for those of you that have joined us here at Coffee and Commerce before, we begin with introductions. We have 2 different speakers, and then we have some members here who are allowed to spotlight because they're Urban Chamber members. However, we're going to do a little bit of a change in the format. We're going to have our first speaker come up in just a moment after the introductions. We're then going to have our member spotlights, followed by our second speaker. Our speakers are so anxious to be here and share with all of you that sometimes their schedules get double booked because they have so much that they're doing, because we have information that is much sought out here in the Las Vegas business community. So what we're going to do as we're getting started, I'm stalling a little bit because there are some folks that are still joining us, that are looking to join us, and we're doing a little bit of troubleshooting on the Zoom link. But what I'd like to do is give everyone an opportunity right now to introduce themselves, because at the end of the day, this is still a networking event. And because it's a networking event, hopefully we can get everyone to turn the cameras on so we can see you. You wouldn't be able to go to an actual live networking event with a mask on. No pun intended, not a medical mask. I mean like an actual Halloween costume where we couldn't see you. So hopefully, let us see you here, ladies and gentlemen. We're still networking. This is still the Urban Chamber of Coffee and Commerce, our monthly morning networking event. We actually have several other events that we do. Hey, good morning, Raven. Good morning, Lawrence. Good morning, Letitia. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for joining us, because this is a networking event. We want to give everyone an opportunity to see and be seen. So, in the spirit of introduction, which I've said about 6 times now, I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves, but here is the format that I'm asking everyone to use. Simply give your name. All of us know our name, right? And your company name. We all know the company that we're representing. And then simply a good lead or referral for your business. Now, notice what I did not say. Not your next workshop that you're hosting, not your next event that you're doing, not the next seminar, not the newest special you're running with your business. Simply for this part of the program, your name, your company name, and a good lead or referral. For example, my name is Darren Mitchell. The company that I represent is Legal Shield. A good lead or referral for me is any business owner, small or medium size, that understands the need to have access to attorneys and consultants to protect and grow their business, but also understands that they don't have to pay a whole lot of money to do it. Darren Mitchell with Legal Shield. Yay. I'll clap for myself. I know all of you are on mute. And I appreciate you being on mute because we don't want to have a lot of cross noise traffic. So here's how I'm going to conduct that traffic. I'm going to play Brady Bunch and just go across the screen as I see it. It might seem different to you, but I'm going to ask each person just before their turn to unmute themselves. So for example, I'm going to start off with Angel. If you'd go ahead and unmute, and Jim Davis, you're going to be on deck to introduce yourself next. So Angel, if you would please introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Angel Williams. I'm with NV Energy. I work in community relations for the company, so a good lead for me would be anybody that has a nonprofit that they work with that is looking to rally volunteers. We've got 2,500 employees statewide, and we're always looking to get them engaged in both virtual and safe in-person volunteer activities. Thank you.
Awesome, and thank you, Angel. We're so glad that you're here. We're going to be hearing from some of your counterparts later in the morning as well. Lawrence, you're on deck. Jim Davis, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jim Davis. I'm a candidate for family court judge in Department X. A good referral to me is send anybody to my website, votejimdavis.com. I'll put it in the chat. Appreciate anybody's support and glad to answer any questions anybody has.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you were here. I love it when our local elected or running for elected officials join us. Jim has been very consistent in doing that. That is not a political endorsement. That is simply an endorsement of his consistency here with the Chamber of Commerce. By the way, you did bring up a good point that I'd like to echo. We are at a networking event, and typically at a networking event, we'd be able to exchange business cards. Clearly, we can't do that in this setting. So what I am going to ask everyone to do is take advantage of the chat feature where you can put in your information, name, phone number, email, website, the same information that you would have on your business card. Please put that in the chat so that as we are introducing ourselves to one another, your information can be in the chat. We can exchange information. Of course, you can save the chat as needed so you can keep track of the folks that we're meeting so that you can continue to connect. With that being said, Raven, you're on deck. Lawrence, go ahead and unmute and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Lawrence Dunford. I just moved to the Vegas area. I've been here for about 10 days. And a good lead for me is any VP of Human Resources who is interested in team development, culture, diversity, inclusion, things of that nature.
Awesome. Thank you, Lawrence. And what is the name of your company?
Parlem Consulting.
Awesome. Thank you. We're so glad that you are here, and welcome to Las Vegas. Raven, you're next. Letitia, I hope I'm not butchering your name. I would feel really, really bad, but you're on deck. But Raven, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Good morning. My name is Raven McSwain. I am with Some New Marketing, and a good lead or referral for me would be a company or organization looking to increase your brand awareness, your customer base and or your cash flow for your business.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you're here. Let me just clean off my glasses with my Sudden New glasses cloth. You know, brand awareness is very important. And yes, I do use it, not just at the chamber. Matter of fact, I have two of them. One at my desk, one stays in my pocket. Because Raven always make sure, don't just do that here, do that everywhere. I do. So Raven, thank you for being here. Maria Moore, you're on deck. And Ms. Riddick, I'm going to use the last name because I don't think I can butcher that one so badly. Please introduce yourself.
No, it's correct. Good morning, everyone. My name is Letitia Riddick, and I'm here on behalf of MB3 Basketball Academy, where I am CEO and co-founder. And a good lead for me would be student athletes between the 6th and 12th grade looking for resources surrounding performance, nutrition, skills training, and distance learning educational resources.
That sounds like a lot. I'm so glad that you're here. Man, skills, resources, and distance learning. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I see 5 people in the chat have put their information in. Jim put his whole life story in. I love it. But please, no shade on Jim, not at all. That is why we're here, to make sure that your message gets out there. So please utilize the chat so that we can all stay in communication. Michael Edwards, you are on deck, sir. Maria, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
And I'm Maria Moore, State Director for ARP Nevada. And a good lead for us is any business who is looking for caregiving resources free of charge to bring to their employees or clients.
Caregiving resources, like for caregiving for like
how to take away the keys from your parents, or how to take care of a loved one during COVID-19, or how to access resources that are local to you, including respite, Meals on Wheels, things like that.
Awesome. Thank you for that clarification, and thank you all for that indulgence. Michael Edwards, you are next. Hold on one second. Danette, please go ahead and unmute. You're on deck. Michael, please introduce yourself.
I am Michael Edwards with U.S. Bank, and a good lead for me is just any small business owner who has who is challenged during this time and wants a relationship with the bank. Honestly, that's all a good lead is to me, as a small business customer is looking for a relationship with their banker.
That's a beautiful thing. And I will indulge just one more time, well, maybe two, but Michael has also been consistent in visiting and working with the Urban Chamber, specifically helping business owners and small business owners access the various funds that our governments have made available to us during this pandemic. And I will share this, even though, because Michael's too modest to do it himself, even if you're not a member or a customer of U.S. Bank, he's so committed to the business community that he's willing to help even non-banking members with those various programs. I won't go into any more detail than that because that's his department, but I want to just share, if you're looking for somebody to build a relationship with, as he said, that is the mission, as he stated on previous visits here at Coffee and Commerce. Michael, glad that you're here. Anna, you're on deck, so be ready to unmute yourself. Danette, please go ahead.
And I will go into that on Michael because he was so gracious to help me when my store was closed. So he does definitely help people, not even clients or anything, and he will help you. And I highly recommend him. Highly recommend him. Okay, so Danette Bro, sorry, I used up part of my time, but Bro's Funnel Cake Cafe, we're located in Town Square. A good lead for me would be anybody interested in catering right now. We do cater large and small corporate and private events.
Awesome. And because it's my favorite funnel cake, and I actually, in my other business, I won't share that today, I had the opportunity to work with Danette side by side at a large event. It was awesome. It was fun. And she had a line out the door. That's not true. We were already outdoors, but everybody was raving, no pun off Raven's name, on that funnel cake. So Anna, I just saw your note in the chat. Are you able to hear us yet? Awesome. Can we hear you as well?
Yeah, I think you can, right?
That is great. So hold that thought. Monique, if you're there, you're on deck. Go ahead and unmute yourself so that you can introduce yourself while Anna begins her introduction. Go ahead, please.
Okay, sorry, I missed the beginning because of my sound, but I am Anna Albertson. I am a lawyer, a mom, a small business owner. My business is called Legal Angel. But I'm not actually looking for leads for my business. I'm running for office, District Court Judge, Department 17. And what I would love to do with anybody interested on this call is please contact me. I'll put my contact information in the chat. I'd love to sit down with you for a cup of coffee or even a quick phone call and find out what you do with your business, see if there's a way that I can help you, and see if there's any events I'm going to be participating in that you would like to participate in that I can either facilitate you getting to or even come with you to. I know we're not doing a lot of live events, but sometimes even having someone else invite you to a Zoom thing or whatever else helps a little bit. So I'll put my information in the chat. Please contact me. And like I said, Anna Albertson, I'll be on your ballots that you should get probably the end of this month, early next month. If you have any questions about my race, obviously, please ask me those too. But like I said, I'm a small business owner myself, and I'm trying to get into as many businesses as I can, make sure I understand what their legal issues are, if there are any, and if there's any way that I can help them with all the events that I'm going to and things that I'm doing for my race. So thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you, Anna. So glad that you're here, and you're correct. You missed the beginning, and I neglected to repeat what I'm about to. At this point, we're getting, and no shade on you. You obviously didn't know, and so it's my fault. But we're doing our introductions, which are, and I see there's some folks still joining us, your name, your company name, and what is a good lead or referral for your business. Even though, as you said, Anna, you're running for office, we very much appreciate you being here to share your message. We're also asking everyone, and I see several people have, to put their information in the chat so that because we cannot exchange business cards, as Anna shared, because we're not at a live event, let's utilize the chat feature on Zoom so that we can put our information out there and stay in contact with one another. So Monique, if you can unmute, and then Chris, you're on deck. Oh my goodness, and we can see you too. That is awesome. When we're done, I gotta know what happened because I'm curious. I've never seen that before, and I need to know how you did that. But we'll talk later. Please, Monique, introduce yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. I'm excited.
I apologize for all of that. My name is Monique Johnson. I'm a supervisor with NV Energy. I cover the Business Solutions Center area. It's working with small to medium customers, helping to assist with any needs from starting service, stopping service, any type of business. If you're having trouble with billing, anything of that nature, I'm here to assist anyone who needs help with their billing issues.
Awesome. Now, see, that's the thing, folks. She's NV Energy, she's small business, and she's billing. She's not the tech person. She got people for that. And Monique, we're glad that you're here. You're going to be sharing more information later in the event today. So once again, glad you're here. And I see Angel's pop back on. She's got it. She's there as well. Let's see. Tori, you're on deck. But Chris, please go ahead and unmute and introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Chris Hatter. This is the first time I've ever been on this Coffee and Commerce, and my business is the Healing Zone Mindfulness Meditation Program, and I'm looking for anybody that's having stress, fear, or anxiety.
Okay, yeah, I qualify. I'm just gonna say it. I mean, if I'm the only one that raises my hand, it's okay. I'm a big boy. But look, if I'm the only one stressed, I need to be learning from every one of y'all. At some point, we have some stress. So, Chris, thank you. So glad that you're here. Please make sure, because I'm looking in the chat. I don't think that I've seen your contact information in the chat. So I'm going to repeat it until I've seen everyone. And here's what I will share. Throughout Zooms, I know all of us have become very Zoom savvy over the last 90 days or so. And so I think we all understand that as folks join the Zoom, they will not have seen anything in the chat before they arrive. So I will encourage you to input your information a few times throughout the Zoom to ensure that everyone has access to your information. And I know everyone wants to be seen here, otherwise, why are you here? Anyway, see, hold on. Brenda, you're on deck. And Tori, go ahead and talk to him, Tori. Hold up, unmute yourself, sir, unmute yourself. There he is.
Okay. Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Tori, also known as Talk to Tori, the Location Ninja. If you need to sell your house fast or you're looking to buy, talk to Tori. I'm your guy.
Man, he is so smooth. He is so smooth. And I'm not just talking about the top of his head either. He is a very highly qualified realtor. He's gonna be one of our speakers today, so you'll be able to share more in just a moment. Brenda Gale, I love that photo, but I miss your face. But I understand when you spend a lot of money for work, you want to show it off. Please introduce yourself to the people.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brenda Gale Bryant. My company is the Gale Group, And what Darren was mentioning earlier before is that I'm working with people doing virtual networking. If you're interested, my information is in the chat box. And so give me a call or drop me an email and or click on the link.
Awesome. Thank you, Brenda. We're glad that you are here. Also a stalwart supporter of the Urban Chamber. That's my $10 word. That's like a $5 word for the day. Let's see here. I know that Joseph and Barry are not here right now, even though they say they're here right now. But I know that Doug, I believe, is Joseph. Are you here, Joseph? You are here. Joseph, please introduce yourself to the people. I know that you're going to be speaking later, but if you would just give us a brief introduction, your name, company name, and a good leader referral. So glad that you are here, sir.
Joseph Gloria, Registrar of Voters for Clark County. Don't lose your voice in Clark County. Be sure and cast your vote. I'm here to provide information related to that shortly.
Awesome. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you for being so concise. Doug, if you can hear me, go ahead and unmute and please introduce yourself. Calling Doug. Sorry, I'm showing my age. Forgive me. All right. So now that everyone's had an opportunity to introduce yourself, I'll reiterate again. Please make sure that you take a few moments throughout the duration of the Zoom to input your contact information into the chat feature so that we can all remain in contact with one another. I love it. Anna is blowing it up. He is putting it in there. Doug, I just got your message. That is all good. If you would please, if you haven't already, put your information into the chat so that we can know who you are. And if you put it in, I might even have an opportunity to introduce yourself for you because I don't recognize you just from the first name. So apologies to you on that. But Doug is having some technical difficulties, and I think we can all relate with that. So let's see. Is there anyone? Oh, wait, hold on. I saw Ken. I don't think it's Delisa Rashonda. I know you're here. But so if you would, I know Delisa rarely introduces herself, so I'm not going to subject her to that. But Rashonda, if you are here, please go ahead and do a quick introduction of yourself, if you don't mind. I see you, but I can't hear you. Go ahead and unmute. I know you called in. Hit the red button. It's okay. Rashonda and Delisa are both part of our staff. And by
Hello.
our, I mean,
Can you hear
there
me?
she is, Rashonda.
Hi.
Hey, please introduce yourself
Hello.
to the
Good
people.
morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Rashonda Washington, and I am the Executive Assistant at the Urban Chamber of Commerce.
There it is. She's being very modest. She's the executive assistant to the president, Mr. Ken Evans, who I saw his name pop up. He might have popped on and popped off, which is just fine because we know that our staff, being Rashonda, Delisa, Carissa, who I was on the phone with earlier, along with our president, Ken Evans, they are very highly involved in a number of things, not just the events that we're on right now, but in making sure that all of us as Urban Chamber members and friends of the Chamber have access to the resources that we need to survive, to thrive, build and grow our businesses by having access to resources here in the Southern Nevada area and around the world, to be very honest. We have connections in other continents. Yes, I said continents. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're at Coffee and Commerce here at the Urban Chamber of Commerce. We have today several people who are going to be sharing very valuable information on how to grow your business, grow your network, grow your net worth, and grow during this time. And so the first speaker that we have today, thank you, Monique, for adding your information. I appreciate that. The first speaker that we have today, this is a gentleman that I've had the pleasure of personally knowing for a few years. He serves here at the Urban Chamber of Commerce, also on the membership committee with myself, and he has many business connections here in Southern Nevada. This is a man that everyone in business, I believe, needs to know. But he's here to talk about real estate, and the title of his presentation is How to Invest in Real Estate During a Global Pandemic. That's going to be powerful. So without any further of me talking and stuttering around, it is now time for us all to talk to Tory. Mr. Tory Brown, take it away, sir.
Wow. Thank you very much for that introduction. Definitely top of the list on my Christmas list. So appreciate you, Darren. Hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Tory Brown. I'm also known as Talk to Tory, the Location Ninja. And I'm honored and I'm excited to be speaking to you all. I know we're all zoomed out and we're surviving a global pandemic, but know that I'm excited to be in the community with you all. I've been in real estate for over 10 years now. Just to give you a little background about me, I'm in the hospitality industry. I work for some of the top casinos on the Strip and also in the construction industry. And I had got into a bad car accident, which caused me to not be able to work into that field anymore. And I'm sitting there with a big book of things that I can get trained in, and I'm going through it. And I got all the way to the R's, and I seen real estate. And I was like, you know what? I always like real estate. And so I picked that, and the counselor looked at me all crazy and with a crazy look on his face. And it was 2008, the worst recession that Americans have ever seen. And one thing I believed in was myself. I knew my work ethic. I knew if I could figure it out, that I could overcome. And then I believed in Las Vegas. I said, this is America's playground, the world's playground. You know, it would bounce back. And I was never expecting it to bounce back big as it did. So I dove head in. And like I said, the difference between now and back then, as far as like a recession, you know, people think it's a big recession. I don't know if there is or not gonna be one, but one thing is the difference is back then there was allowable loose lending. There was banks lending to people that couldn't afford a house if they really could provide documentation. So none of that is the same as what's going on right now here in Las Vegas. Why is Las Vegas a great place to invest? Oh, sorry, and I didn't get to share my screen. Could you share my screen? There, everybody on there. Just to give you a little bit, sorry about that. Supposed to get it going, but we have a lot of different projects going on in Las Vegas. You have, like I said, back in 2008, I wasn't expecting the Las Vegas Raiders to be coming to Las Vegas, the Amazon to be moving out here to Las Vegas. We have Google, we have so many different entities. We've built over 1 million square feet of convention space alone out here in Las Vegas. And that brings tourism. You have already, hands down, we have the best entertainment in the world to where everybody comes out here to Las Vegas. And all these different things is what makes and build the city. Like, we're not like a LA, Chicago, New York, where you have houses built in 1817 with that old infrastructure. Vegas has a lot of new development, and it's leading the country in annual population growth, annual job. We're like at top of the list. So all these things say to me that Vegas is a sure bet. Don't believe me, you got to follow the money, you see. And if all these big Fortune 500 companies are moving out here to Las Vegas, you got to believe that it's good. And we already have broke records as far as the annual growth that we've had. We've been growing at an average about over 2%. And that actually broke a record from the world, in America far. And people are afraid of, like, think real estate investment is so hard, or I gotta have 20,000, I gotta have 20% down. No, you can take advantage of so many great programs that we have out here in Las Vegas. You have a lot of great down payment assistance programs, such as NACA, which is a program that literally helps you pay for your down payment and your closing costs. And you don't have to have the best of credit. They're willing to work with you. You have great programs over at Nevada Partners, where they got the WISH program to where they will match you up to 3 times the amount of whatever you can save up. So if you can save up $5,000, you can get an extra $15,000 for your down payment and closing costs. You know, the government has a loan called the FHA. You have to put around 3.5%. But working with some of these great programs that our Valley have, you can take advantage of it. So you don't necessarily have to buy a house. You can buy a duplex. You can buy a triplex. You can buy a fourplex. and it'll be the same 3.5% down. But I've seen people literally come out of pocket paying for just like their warranty because of the programs that they were able to take advantage of. They don't call me the location ninja for nothing. I got ninja tactics, how I get my clients into houses, and I'm passionate about real estate. I love to help people. And when people have the desire for home ownership or wanting to invest, I don't care if it takes 3 months or 3 years to get you to where you need to be. I will help and guide you along the way. So there's no such thing as a dumb question. And what's driving people to move out here to Las Vegas is, you know, a lot of it is the job creation, like I mentioned earlier. We're going outside of just the regular casino jobs where bartending, cocktailing, that type of thing, housekeeping is what the majority of people used to work. But with Google coming out here, with the Raiders coming out here, this is a different type of wealth. Now, I think they believe is the average of like 40% of different people rent. That's where you come in as an investor. You get a rental property, and I deal with it right now that for every one person looking for a rental property, there's another 7 looking for that rental. It's a mass, a lot of people looking for rentals right now. So, and that's where an investor comes in to be able to buy a house and put a renter in there. And don't worry about it. Real estate is not a quick money. And, you know, unless you're into the flipping game, then that's a whole nother story. But I like the long game of just consistently, you know, having properties and having people paid off for you. Such as if you got a kid, as soon as they're born, why not get a rental property? Put a renter in there, and even if they're just covering the note and you're not making no money, when they're 18, all of a sudden, within 18 years, there's going to be a certain amount of equity. So all of a sudden, you give that house to your kid to go to Harvard or go to a certain school that normally they wouldn't have been able to do. But now that they got this house, they can use that equity, an equity line of credit, or give that to them to, you know, to live in or start a business or wherever. That's the benefits of real estate. When you buy cars and, you know, different things, items, clothes, that's not gonna, you know, make you no return. Over the history of the United States and just in real estate has always been just at top of the list as far as, you know, building wealth in the United States, excuse me. So in real estate, yes, there are pros and cons. Some of the cons in real estate is, yes, you are going to have to manage the property. And if certain things go out, you will have to take care of, you have to have money set aside for that. But the difference between what's coming in for the rental, you put aside for that. And if you're not wanting to rent the property yourself, there's different property management companies. So you can pay somebody anywhere from 5 to 10%, and they manage the property, and you don't get that call in the middle of the night talking about my water heater went out. They handle it, and you just pay them off the top. So you put that into equation. Another thing is, it's not liquidity. Real estate is not a thing that you can say, hey, tomorrow I don't want this house, I want to cash out. I want all my money. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to be able to put it on the market, sell it. You might have to put upgrades and things to that nature. So it's not always, but some great things is you get great tax benefits and you're able to write off a lot of stuff, which helps you in the long run than if you were just renting a property, you know, throwing your money out the window. You have annual cash flow. You can make money and be gaining a profit. Why? At the same time, having an asset, getting paid down. And then once that's free and clear, you're good. All you are is paying taxes on that. And that's how most often generational wealth is created, through being able to transfer your property, if not multiple properties. Just imagine if you can have 10 paid off properties, bringing you in, just to say minimum $1,000 a month. And all of a sudden you got all those properties paid off and your expenses is $3,000. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think I can live off about $7,000 a month. So just thinking in those ways and being able to take advantage of your credit. fourplexes are a great investment because a lot of the times you can live in one of the units and actually rent out all the other different units and be living rent free. And I don't know about you, to be able to live rent free while making a profit, while having an asset, something like that to be in the family could change a whole generations to come. And I don't know about you guys, but they're not making no more land right now. This is it. So when it's gone, it's gone. You need to invest in real estate. That's a solid thing. This is just a little breakdown of something that a fourplex could return with you on an investment, you know, by only putting a certain amount of down. And then that's what I told you where a lot of those programs come into play. You can take advantage of a program that literally pays for your down payment and your closing costs. And then all of a sudden you have an investment. You're living in that fourplex. And then after 6 months, you save up enough other money, you can rinse and repeat and do the same strategy over again. So I always tell everybody, work on your credit. So it's different opportunities, so many different ways, and that you can just take advantage of the real estate market. And there's no such thing as a dumb question. So I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening to me. And if you guys have any questions, I will open up the floor.
He's right, folks. There is no such thing as a dumb question. So giving everyone an opportunity to ask your question. If you would please use the raise hand feature on the bottom of the Zoom. Raise your hand if you're sure. Once again, I apologize, showing my age. And give everyone an opportunity to ask any questions of the Location Ninja on some of the benefits of buying properties to rent out, creating additional cash flow. I don't see any hands raised as yet. So what I'm going to do is ask a question myself. Tori, have you seen that prices are going up, down, stagnating as far as being the price of entry into investing during this pandemic?
It's actually been going up. Prices from beginning before the pandemic, they were all up to 25% from year on year. After the pandemic, things have slowed up, but the thing is, actually, the market's still hot. There is a short inventory right now. So you want to be at about a 6-month inventory to be a balance between buyer and seller. Right now, what we're looking at Las Vegas is about a 2-month supply. So we're back to that multiple offer situation where people are putting in multiple offers just to even get that property. And I'm not seeing it slowing down. It hasn't really slowed down through over the pandemic because right now, and that's another thing, interest rates are historically low. I believe they're under 3%, around 2.6, 2.5. I checked last time, but that varied. They go up and down all the time with the interest rates. But for it to be under 3% is, as you can just go back the last 20 years, it hasn't been too much low as that. So, and the difference between 2.6 and 3.6, say you approved for 200 and something thousand at a 2.6 interest rate. Now all of a sudden at at a 3.6 interest rate, you had 200,000, then you get 2.6 interest rate, you'll be at about 280 maybe, give or take 260. So it matters on how much you can qualify when purchasing a property.
So despite the fact that the supply is lowering along with the interest rate, this is still a good time to get in before rates go up. Am I interpreting that correctly? I mean, you're the expert.
I would say definitely you could take advantage of low interest rates. To be able to lock something in this low, people's loving it because the people that normally couldn't afford a house now can be in that price range. And then to be able to take advantage of an FHA loan and being able to get a duplex, fourplex, or investment property, living in one, to be able to have under 3% interest rate, it looks good.
That is unheard of.
Yes.
Any questions out there in the field? I know a lot of folks were taking notes and typing notes in the chat. Any other questions that we have for the Location Ninja, talk to Tori Brown.
I put all my contact information. If you guys feel free, contact me anytime. If you got any questions, you want to sit down, a Zoom meeting, whatever is easiest for you, I'll be glad to help.
Awesome. Thank you again. Yes, Danette, you are correct. Great presentation as always. One of the reasons that Tori is such a prominent speaker, switching gears here, is because here at the Urban Chamber of Commerce, we host we host a chapter of Toastmasters International. They're called the Lunchtime Talkers. And I will direct everyone at your leisure to the Urban Chamber website, which is at urbanchamber.org, for details on joining the Lunchtime Talkers. They meet first and third Thursday of the month, again by way of Zoom, as a way to help you hone your speaking skills. One of the things that I was frustrated with myself earlier, I did a lot of ums and ahs, and I'm kind of kicking myself under my desk, because at Toastmasters, that's one of the things that they train you on how to not do those things. They hold you accountable to ensure that you are speaking clearly, getting your point across directly, and making sure that your point is heard and understood. Very important. So that is Toastmasters. In addition, here at the Chamber, we have several other events that we'd like to invite you to, once again, all of which can be found at urbanchamber.org. My personal favorite is going to be next Thursday evening, the third Thursday, 17th at 5 p.m., which is our Virtual Connect. Virtual Connect began as Direct Connect, actually began as the Urban Chamber Social Hour, but that's years ago. It is our monthly evening networking event that we held at the Chamber, and just like everything else, we moved it virtual. We have to change the name. We call it Virtual Connect. It is your opportunity each month to do what we're doing right now. Continue to connect with other folks in the business community. And Angel, you can bring something else in your cup if you so choose, because it's in the evening. That is okay. So I know we're all drinking coffee right now at Coffee and Commerce, but at Direct Connect, if you want to put something else in your cup, that is just fine. So I saw a couple of folks. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. I might say, wait, is that still coffee, Michael? Don't answer that. Anyway, a couple of folks joined us during Tori's presentation. I want to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves as well. And so I see a gentleman, and once again, introductions, so that I'm clear, are your name and your company name, and what is a good lead or referral. Simply your name, your company name, and a good lead or referral for your business. So I see Mac, kind of hard to miss that. Mac, if you go ahead and unmute and introduce yourself, please.
My name is Mac Wiggins. I'm with ResCare One Stop Career Center. We are just pretty much trying to engage with the community to see where we can help. We have a lot of new opportunities to help small businesses, even big businesses now. We are in the process of making sure that we can provide training opportunities that we'll pay for certain companies with hiring certain amount of employees. So if there is someone who needs more employees but lacks the funds for paying for the training, we'll do that so that they can work with your company and become self-sufficient. There's some other opportunities that we have. Feel free to reach out to me. I will put my name and contact information below. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Glad that you joined us this morning, and you make a very good point. I'm going to ask everyone, as I've said throughout this meeting today, to put your information in the chat because, for example, if you were here at the very beginning and put your information in, Mac just joined us. He doesn't have your information. So Mac Wiggins, I appreciate that. Please go ahead and put your information in the chat one more time so that everyone, I see everyone did the smart thing. They cut and copied and pasted so they can just paste it all in. That's brilliant, Lawrence. And Danette, I see you. These are the smart folks in the room. That would be all of you. So with that being said, once again, introductions are simply your name, your company name, and a good lead or referral. Once again, your name, your company name, and a good lead or referral. And Miss Stafford, I don't want to mess up your first name. So Miss Stafford, if you go ahead and unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please. The bottom left, the red button that looks like a microphone, the old school kind. Here, let me see. There you are.
Okay, I feel a little older now. Okay,
You're younger than me, I promise you. I just had a birthday this week.
Stafford. Oh, happy birthday. I'm Kalila Stafford from Rites of Passage, and we are a youth mentoring program.
So right now we have youth resiliency programs, and they're just focused on financial literacy and social emotional skill building. So right now we're trying to get the word out. Our program it's a small fee, but we're hoping to get like some, I don't know, sponsors or scholarships or something, so the families won't have to pay for it. With everything going on, we wanted to offer something to the families here in the Valley, so that's why I'm here. Oh, just personally, we're trying to buy some property for my family. So that's it.
Awesome, Cleveland. We're glad that you're here as well. Thank you for joining us. And if you would please put your information in the chat so that we can be in contact with you to learn more about those services. And I appreciate everybody jumping in and putting their information in once again. Thank you so much for that. And now we're going to switch gears just a little bit more. There are a couple of folks here at the Urban Chamber of Commerce that, by way of being members, simply because they're members. So if you're not a member and you're here right now, as Ken Evans would say if he were here, join us, because as the commercial once said, membership has its privileges. Raven, is it okay for me to say that? I don't know if I can use that company's marketing line. You know, Raven being the resident marketing expert, she'll answer me in the chat. In the meantime, there's some folks here. I'm good. Thank you, Raven. I don't want to get sued. Wait a minute. I have access to attorneys. And thank you, Anna, speaking of attorneys, for what you do. We're definitely going to chat. Michael, why are you laughing at my jokes? Oh, wait, because they're funny. Anyway, I'm just serious. I need some more coffee, y'all. Can you tell? We have some folks that, because they are members, have an opportunity to join us, not just to get the information that Tori was providing and that our other speaker in a moment will be providing, but to provide other information about the benefits of being a chamber member, the benefits of their business, and how they can help you as chamber members to grow your business. And the first person that I'm going to call on from NV Energy, because I know that she has lots of it, energy, and she's ready to go. She's got her headset on. She's got her camera pointing in the right direction. Monique, I'm talking about you. Yes, you. Yeah. She's looking around like, who from NV Energy is here? Who else is Angel? And I know she's got some slides that she's going to put up, if I'm not mistaken, and she's going to be talking about some of the benefits of NV Energy specific to business owners, because as she shared earlier, that's the area that she works in. So, ladies and gentlemen, Monique Johnson, take it away. You're going to want to unmute first. There it is.
Okay, technical is not my field. Like I said earlier, we had some issues going on, but we're all good now. They were able to assist me and get me up and running. So I hope everyone can hear me just okay. I am the supervisor of the Business Solutions Center here at NV Energy. We do have some special programs, but first let me just explain what the area is and what it's all about. The business customers we assist, it's a small to medium group. We handle specialized area from start to finish. We're here Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And don't worry if you're unable to reach us, they will transfer you over to the residential part of the area. But like I said, we are here 24/7 every day of the week. So if you are having any issues whatsoever, there is someone here to reach you. But our group mainly works from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. I will go ahead and I'll post my information again so everyone has it there, just in case you missed it. What we do, we try to provide that extra care for business customers. So you're not waiting on the phone. You're not trying to spend that valuable time, you know, waiting to hear back from someone. That's what we do. We have this service in Reno. They have a specialized work group up there, and we mimic that down here in the South as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put the PowerPoint up so you can follow. And I'll share my screen and see if I know what I'm doing. Can everyone see it? Everyone can see it? Okay. So this is the slide. Double click. So the Business Solutions Center consists of a dedicated team, like I said, serving unique needs of small to medium customers. And we want to fully satisfy those customers from the beginning to the end. And we do have those customers who constantly reach out. Like I said, no matter what the cause is, we just want to make sure we take care of those customers from beginning to end. Those are our hours, like I said, Monday through Friday. If you're not able to reach us, no matter what, the residential agents will be able to assist you no matter what. And if it's something they're unable to handle, they will be able to get it over to us if it's something that's just a little more difficult there, and that they're unable to handle, they'll get it over to us and let us take care of that for you. We're here to help. During the pandemic, we know that it's very, very hard time. NV Energy was one of the first people to, one of the first utilities to suspend the disconnects. We know that power is, you have to have it. And we wanted to make sure that it was out there for everyone to have. And we didn't want anyone worrying about, like you said, they didn't have a job, they didn't have the money. We wanted to make sure that you didn't have that in the back of your head saying that, you know, you weren't going to be able to pay the bill. So we were one of the first companies to suspend the disconnects and the late fees for our customers. We're here to work with anyone who needs assistance. We do have bill pay assistance options. You want to learn more about it, you can go to nvenergy.com/COVID help. Lots of programs out there. NV Energy is currently waiving also deposits for any new commercial customer right now. So take advantage of that. So anyone, if you guys know someone opening up a business, if they're being leery about, you know, being hesitant on opening up the business, we are waiving the deposits right now for commercial customers to try to make any little amount of help that, you know, try to keep the economy pushing forward to try to help them with any needs. I do know right now that North Las Vegas, they do have the small business assistance programs. I did hear earlier today that Clark County extended their offerings for the small business recovery. So they have more assistance out there, the Clark County Small Business Stabilization. They extended it, I believe, till September 15th. So that that's a good thing. So if anyone out there needs help with rental assistance, definitely reach out to them, and they're able to help, you know, pay those bills as well. Because I know it's a hard time with, you know, that, you know, people are not getting out as much because they can't afford it. We have the Nevada Recovery. Those are industry specific guidelines. Nevada offers expanded energy bill assistance to customers. So, I mean, we are here to help. If you do know of anyone, you have my information. We can make special arrangements for the business customers and as far as any residential customers. So it goes hand in hand. So if you are, or if you know someone, definitely reach out to us. We can make arrangements for the businesses or for personal homeowners. We just need for you to contact us, because it's, like you said, it's not going to go away. We just need to, you know, reach out and just, you know, get it going. A couple of weeks ago, we did ask NV Energy customers to conserve electricity, and we really meant that, and we thank everyone for participating in that. Unplugging appliances, turning off lights, delaying turning on exterior lighting, all that plays a huge part in conserving the Western grid. It was hit hard with trying to make sure that they had enough power to keep on for everyone. We definitely want to avoid curtailing the power. Nevada has done a great job in doing so, and we wanted to thank all of the Nevada customers for doing that. And I know we sent out a couple robocalls. It probably woke you guys up in the middle of the night, and we do apologize for that. But everyone did a great job in you know, trying to help reduce the amount of energy, so we didn't have to go through that extra step of, you know, curtailment in doing so, like a couple of the other states had to do. If you have electric vehicles, try to charge those vehicles between the hours of 2 and 9 p.m. If you're a homeowner, you know, you want to make sure you are turning up the temperature, as, you know, if you can keep it up to 80, 82 as much as possible. If not, we do understand, but you want to cool the home, you know, before the 2 p.m. time as much as possible. So that does help, because most of the power is going to be consumed between the 2 and the 5 o'clock hour. But we do thank you, and, you know, conserving power was a big help between that heat wave that we had. We have some up and coming things changing, multi-account services. We currently have this program now. This is for property owners. We're in the midst of redesigning this function online. It's going to be turning off services. We're updating it so you can create service orders, update service orders. You can disconnect your services, everything online. Currently, you're able to do that, but we're just adding a few more things on there to make it more self-sufficient. You're going to be able to have pay options on there. You're going to be able to pay your bills on the account. Count summary, you'll be able to print all of your information. Like if you were going to have to go, to your accountant, you'll be able to have all that right in front of you online. So we're redoing that whole thing for this year to make that better for any property owners, and it will be called the Property Dashboard, and it's coming later this year around December 2020. We're also adding the continuous service program. Currently, we don't have this as of yet in Las Vegas Valley area, but we do have this in the Reno area. And it's a utility service that will automatically, if you were having a rental property, this service will automatically, if I'm a property manager and my tenant moves out, the service will then revert right back into your name without you having to call. So this way you don't have that, keep track of, okay, no, I need to call the power company to get this back on in my name. It will automatically be put back in your name without you having to worry, do you have the utility services on there? So we will offer this to the Las Vegas Valley customers as well as the Reno customers in both areas now. A few years back, about 15 years ago, we tried to have this program, but we wanted to bring it back to see, offer both of them to see if, if people wanted to do it, and we got some, yes, we would like this program. So we wanted to offer it to both areas, and they were okay with it. So we're going to bring this back to both areas. And I do believe also too, we're going to be waiving the deposits on both of these as well. So that's a good thing. And then also, we are going to be in the community more. We had our community vans out. We were excited about this last week. A couple of the employees were out last week, and we were working to go see the final touches of the van. We went out, take some picture shots and some promotion shots to see the final product. The vans are fully customized, bumper to bumper, to serve the customers in the field and in the community events. When it's safe again, we're gonna, bring it out. So when we have power outages, they're equipped with electrical, if you need to charge your phone, if you need assistance with talking about the bill when the power is going to come back on. So it's basically like a customer service van equipped with all the equipment. It'll have a customer service representative. I may even be driving the van, but I have to get trained on that, I'm sure. But we're going to be out in the community with the van whenever there's something going on. If there's an outage or any type of emergency, we will be out with the van in the neighborhood. So you will see that going forward when anything is in the neighborhood going on. So that's what we have so far. You guys have any questions for me?
That was so thorough. I think everyone is stunned, Monique. Oh my goodness. And you're getting a round of applause from Anna. I appreciate you using the reactions there, and from Danette. Thank you both. And thank you again, Monique. And I have to thank you again as a business
Sorry,
owner.
one quick question.
Oh,
Sorry.
yes, please.
Free to give out all those numbers and information you gave us for help, right? We can give that to people who ask us questions.
Absolutely, yes. In my email, if they would like to send me an email, because we really do, if they're struggling, we want to keep them in business, but we need to know that so we're able to work with them ahead of time. Like I said, we have extended the disconnects on the account, but like I said, that's not going to last. I know we pushed it back a little bit more for the house moratorium. I want to say we pushed it back to, the beginning of November, but you will start to see the late fees on the account, but the disconnects will resume early November time.
And then, sorry, one more question. I got the phone numbers, but I didn't catch the email that you said. There was an email?
You can send, my email is moniquejohnson@nvenergy.com.
Thank you very much.
and it's in the chat as well.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Of course, of course. Thank you again, Monique, and thank you for warning us when the disconnects start up again. I guess I better make sure I pay my bill. I'm just joking. I got that equal pay. They took care of me really nicely, so I very much appreciate
and
that.
we have a lot of programs, flex pay, equal pay. So if you have anyone that wants to, like I said, if they're any amount of money that they're able to pay, we will work with them and start them up on a program just to make sure that they have the power and, you know, stay in power.
Awesome. Real quick, Mac is asking, is there a flyer with any of this information available?
No, but Mac, I can send it directly to you if you like.
All right. He's saying yes with a thumbs up and a big grin. So Mac, if you didn't already, please put your contact information in the chat so Monique can have it as well as the rest of us, and she can send that to you. So awesome. So we're going to go ahead and move to our next spotlight, and emphasis on spotlight, and it's Letitia Riddick with 2020 Vision Consulting.
Good morning. So I don't have a presentation. I think it's just much easier for me to kind of speak to my businesses. So 2020 Vision Consulting, essentially my background is in industrial engineering. So with the consulting company, I focus on business development and business efficiency. And as a result of that, I'm going to be talking about one of the actual businesses that I'm CEO of, which is MB3 Academy. So there are other opportunities that I work with, but this is kind of the main focus right now. So what MB3 Basketball Academy is, my significant other, he played in the NBA for 10 years and then finishing his career overseas, retiring in 2016. And one of the pain points of always being around athletes that we would always hear, and even from his story, is, you know, if they had certain resources, you know, where their careers would have ended up or how much easier it would have been. So in doing so, one of our visions was to always, and he's also a Las Vegas native. So one of our visions has always been to, upon retirement, him come back to Las Vegas and open up a gym or sports academy, which is actually what we're doing now. So we had the opportunity to partner with a group out of California. And what they did was they power sports facilities. So essentially they created a business model that allows sports facilities, training facilities, gyms to operate efficiently and be, you know, revenue earning businesses. Because one of the pain points with gyms is during the time from 9 to 3 while children are in school, the gyms are empty, but you're still paying the overhead, you're still having to support the business. So what they ended up doing is coming up with a business model that allowed them to be able to essentially adopt a distance education model. So what that does now you're engaging children who are in homeschool or distance learning. So you're not competing with the 9 to 3. So the kids that are coming to the facility are, you know, in homeschool. So they're able to leverage that time period. So fast forward to now the COVID era that we're living in. Prior to coronavirus, we had essentially built our business model around distance education. So with everything transitioning to that, it was great for us. So what we have here, that we're actually going to be doing a soft opening coming up in the next month. We are opening a one-stop shop facility. And when I say one-stop shop, so obviously our focus is basketball skills. But with the one-stop shop facility, we're going to be offering student athletes ages sixth grade through 12th grade, collegiate and professional level resources. So essentially a student athlete coming to our facility will have access to wellness and recovery, strength and conditioning, nutrition. We have an on-site Pilates studio, and then distance education. So I don't know if any of you guys as parents have student athletes, like, you know how cumbersome it is when you have to go here for skills training. Then if they get hurt, you have to go there for physical therapy. And a lot of these kids miss out on a lot of the essential resources that are necessary in, you know, in being elite athletes. So what we try to do is bring all of those resources and put them in one place. So what that does for the parents, it buys you back time. So now you don't have to pick your kids up from school at 3 o'clock, then take them to practice. And then if they need to go to therapy, take them to therapy. Everything is literally in one location. And so also with that being said, we engage some of the top resources and partner with some of the top resources here in the city. So in regards to our strength and conditioning, we brought on Sean Manuel, and he was actually the strength and conditioning director from UNLV, who worked under Tony Sanchez, the previous football coach. We engaged for our physical therapy partner, Sean Freitas. He owns Project Wellbeing and was actually just signed as a physical therapist for the Raiders. So now these youth, essentially starting at 11 years old, will have these advanced level resources. So when you look at things like injury prevention, and just to mention, youth sports is a $29 billion industry. So for all these parents who are, who have kids in AAU, I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. These parents are spending about $19,000 a year in regards to AAU fees and travel. And reason being is because there are not resources available that gives their kids the opportunity to, to be on the court or to play the sport. So these parents put all this money into AAU, but the kids aren't being developed. They're essentially just playing games. So now we take the approach where our motto is we're building better individuals, not just athletes, because what we want to do with these student athletes is to allow them to effectively be able to leverage their skill, but at the same time, show them other options, because the reality is only 1% of athletes will make it to the professional level. So while we're developing them in their sport, we're also developing them in other areas, allowing them to, recognize other opportunities. So when it comes down to it, even if sports isn't their end all be all, it can be a stepping stone in helping them get to the next level. So what we're doing right now, we're currently enrolling, although MB3 basketball, again, we focus only on that sport, but our partner, it's the Sports Academy. So we also feature other sports, football, baseball, tennis, hockey, golf. So essentially, if you guys know of any student athletes, or if you have student athletes and you're interested, what we're doing right now, we're doing info sessions. So essentially, if you text IHP, which is an acronym for the Institute of Human Performance, which is our partner that brings all those other resources. If you text IHP info to 52236, you'll receive a registration link that will allow you to sign up for an info session. And then with that info session, you would essentially get the breakdown of what the Academy is, all of the resources that we offer. So what we're doing as far as distance learning is so right now, every kid is in homeschool. So if you picture homeschool, being self-paced, what we do is we take their homeschool curriculum and we put them into a block schedule. So now we're replacing that 9 to 3, where essentially they would have been in a regular school. We're putting them into a block schedule. So the first 2 hours they come to the facility, they focus on their schoolwork. Then from there, they transition into their performance program. So now instead of having a traditional day from 9 to 3 where students are in front of the computer doing school, they're incorporating their sports performance, their nutrition, their wellness and recovery, their physical therapy. So now by 3 o'clock as an athlete, you're finished with your day. You're done with school, you're done with your training. And so that opens up time and resources for the child and the parent. So again, we have a facility, it's located at 7155 South Buffalo. We're about a month out, but we're going to be doing a soft opening. But currently we are still, enrolling and doing info sessions. So if you guys know any parents, like I said, everyone's literally stuck at home right now. So this would be a great thing for parents, especially for parents of student athletes who've had their seasons taken away for the year. Because effectively, it won't be any more sports. So this would give these athletes a means to be able to come into, and also, we built our business model around small groups. So, that's good right now with COVID, limited exposure, really just trying to create an elite environment with professional level resources that can help these kids get to the next level in sports. And if it's not getting to the next level in sports, it's getting to the next level in life. And that's all I have. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
I just have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Where were y'all 15 years ago when I was a soccer dad and I needed y'all?
I know, we get that a lot.
That is great information. I'm not complaining. I'm very blessed. My daughter, and I mean blessed because my daughter went on to play D1 soccer and she got a scholarship, so I didn't have to come out of pocket, which is fair since I spent all that money with all that training, like you just mentioned, traveling. So definitely great information. And as you said, for those of us out here who are recovering sports parents, but we have that niece or nephew that's playing now, that's definitely a good contact to refer to them, to have resources, to stay in shape, because especially when you're in that competitive level, or even if you're not, there is no off season. So even if there is no season, there's still no off season. So definitely good resources to be able to make sure that our youth are staying active, because that's the reason we put them in these sports, so they can stay out of trouble. So definitely another resource to keep them in that same activity. So again, thank you, Letitia, for all that you do. And if you would please put as much contact information as you can in the chat. I saw you put your website in earlier. Please go ahead and put it in again, because I know there's some folks that just joined us. So please make sure that they have the information. And I know there's some folks that joined us even during your speaking. So I'm going to ask everyone once again to please put the information in the chat so all of us can make sure that we have each other's information so that we can continue this conversation. And so speaking of continuing the conversation, he's back. He had another meeting, but he is here. It is my pleasure right now, because here's the thing. We have a lot of things going on in this beautiful country we love. Even if it doesn't love all of us the same, that's another conversation for another time. But here's what I know. One of the beauties of the country in which we live is we all have the ability, power, and responsibility to affect change the way that we see fit by way of voting, and voting in the elected officials who we believe will do the things in government that we need done. And so with that being said, to talk further about that very topic, voting safely and securely, knowing your options, because there are some folks that well, anyway, I'm gonna pass the Zoom over right now to Barry Gold of AARP, along with Joe Gloria of Clark County, who introduced himself earlier. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm going to try and share my screen here so people can see just what's going on. So again, my name is Barry Gold. I'm the Director of Government Relations for AARP Nevada. And let's pop it up there and see if people can everybody see the cover slide right there? Hopefully, maybe. Hello, hello. Can people see my screen?
Yes, you're doing a great job. We can
Okay,
hear you
great.
and see your screen.
Perfect. So AARP has a voter engagement campaign called Protect Voters 50 Plus, and I put my contact information up there because we are available to do 5-minute talks, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30-minute presentations, question and answers, because there's as much misinformation as there is real information out there. So I'm not sure if the slides are moving or not. Did it just move to another slide? Hopefully.
Yep, everything is moving smoothly.
Perfect. Okay. So we've been doing things for over 35 years. And you notice I said voter engagement, not voter education, because really what we're trying to do is get everybody to make their voice heard and people to know what their options are. So just very briefly, you want to know how many people voted in 2018? It was 59% of the electorate were 50 plus. Currently in Nevada, you know, it's the same numbers. In 2018, which was not a presidential year, that's a percentage of people who voted. We expect more people to vote because it's a presidential year. So what is AARP doing with their voter engagement campaign? Are focusing our efforts on safe and secure votings, whether you choose to vote in person or whether you choose to vote at home. So you can do it early voting, you can do it at home, or other voting options. And I'm going to turn it over in a minute to Joe Gloria, who's really the expert on that. But I want to mention a couple things. Number one, the multicultural vote cannot be understated, as it says there. So it's getting more and more important, and we need to make sure everybody gets out and everybody makes their voice heard. So the overall message is right up there. And it says there we're fighting to protect 50 plus voters, and the issues that are important to everybody, as you'll see, it's really we have to engage all generations, because things that are important to the older voters, health and financial security, are important to everybody. So we're really demanding actions to make sure everybody can vote safely, whether you're living at home, whether you're in a nursing home. I'm working with a long-term care ombudsman to make sure that people in nursing homes can also vote. So really what's really important is to make sure every voter is heard and everybody feels safe and secure in voting. So what it's all about is making sure you can cast your vote safely and you know all of your voting options. So that's what we're doing. And as I said, AARP, I'm available to do whether it's a 5-minute talk or whether it's a 20, 30-minute question and answer period so people know exactly what it is. So what we're doing all across the state, we have articles, we're doing community outreach, presentations at things like this, working with the chambers, doing collaborations with state and local agencies. Joe Gloria is the Clark County Registrar. We're going to be doing something with the Review Journal, and there's a lot of different things you can do. You can go to our website. It's listed up there, aarp.org/NVvotes, and that has Nevada-specific information to tell you just what's going on in our state, how you can vote, how you can do that. So in terms of another good website to go to is the Secretary of State's website, nvsos.gov/elections. But in terms of talking about the actual process between in-person voting and mail-person voting, what I want to do right now is I want to turn it over to Mr. Joe Glory. He's a Clark County Registrar, and he is really the expert and can tell you everything that you need to know. So take it away, Joe.
Thank you, Barry, and thank you for the opportunity to be here to share some information. I've been working really hard, and Barry's been playing a big part in giving me an opportunity to share information. We want to make sure that all voters are aware of exactly what the options are for them to cast their ballot in the November election. And as a result of AB4 and the special session this summer, all active voters will be receiving a mail ballot packet in the mail. That means that you don't need to submit a mail ballot request for the general election. We will be sending you a ballot. So it's absolutely important that as a voter, you make sure that your address information or your information period is accurate in our system. You have until October 6th to send in a mail voter registration update. After that date, you'll have to do it either in person through same-day registration during the early voting period or on election day, but you must have a Nevada driver's license or Nevada ID to do so. So be sure that your mailing address is correct because mail ballots are not forwardable. We can only send it to the address that you've listed in the system. And if you're planning on being out of town, you'll want to make sure and update and let us know what the mailing address is. That wouldn't be your residential address. That would be an address where you will receive the mail ballot so that you can cast your ballot. It's very simple to cast that mail ballot. You'll receive a mail ballot packet with instructions. There's a postage paid return envelope that will be sent to you. There will also be a privacy sleeve and information on mail ballot drop-off locations. Although we don't anticipate any trouble with the U.S. Postal Service getting ballots to us, which is why we've sent you a postage paid return envelope, there will be several mail ballot drop-off locations. And there is a change in the information that we provided to you. Early voting sites, every single one of them will be a mail ballot drop-off. Don't wait in line with the folks that are there to vote in person. Go ahead and walk to the front, and there will be a staffer inside of the voting location that will receive your ballot. Be sure that your envelope is sealed and that it's signed so that we can verify your identity when it comes in for processing. The change comes on election day. Every single polling site will be a mail ballot drop-off location as well. So on election day, you can't go wrong. As long as you go to a voting site that is scheduled, of which there will be 125 sites throughout the Clark County area, or during early voting, you can drop off that ballot and not worry about the Postal Service drop-off. Also very important information, we're providing a full slate of in-person voting opportunities. Barry mentioned voting safely. And the whole reason behind sending a mail ballot was to get a mail ballot out to voters who are concerned about mingling in large groups, especially those groups that are more susceptible to the pandemic and COVID-19. So by providing a mail ballot to all voters, we've made it accessible for every single voter in the county. However, for 14 days, beginning October 17th through October 30th, you will have an opportunity to vote early at 35 sites on a daily basis. That schedule will be sent to you soon. It is also available on our website. On election day, there will be 125 sites throughout Clark County for you to make use of the in-person voting opportunity on election day. So there's plenty of sites for you to vote in person, but again, we strongly encourage you, make use of the mail ballot. And one of the main reasons why we're promoting that is that this will be the largest ballot any voter in Clark County has ever seen. There are over 70 contests on the ballot with all of the district judges that are on the ballot this year. So you can do that in the comfort of your home, at your kitchen table. Take your time in making selections and researching, and get the ballot back to us. It must be dropped off or mailed by November 3rd, and after that we have 7 days to receive it in order for it to be processed and counted. Just close by indicating to you that there are 3 mailers you need to keep an eye out for. We're going to be sending a sample ballot, which will start going out the end of this month. That's got all of the schedules for early voting and election day. And it's also got lots of good information related to exactly where those locations are. There's a very useful map there, and our website information, and the phone number to call, which is always 702-455-VOTE. And the website is clarkcountynv.gov/vote. Please, if you have any questions or issues with your mail ballot, you'll want to call my department. Don't go with a third party, call us directly so that we can assist you. The next mailer is the mail ballot supplement, which has all of the information on the questions that'll be provided to you on the ballot. The ballot questions are 1 through 4. There is no question 5, and we make that very clear in the documentation we provide. We didn't forget to put it there. There just is no question 5. And then question 6. That will be coming out about the same time as the sample ballot. And finally, every active voter will receive a mail-in voter packet. Study that information, make your choices, do the research, and get that ballot back to us as soon as you can. Or take advantage of the in-person opportunities. With that, I would like to leave some time. I wanted to keep it short and just give you basic information. If you have any questions, I'll now give you an opportunity. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
I see your hand, Anna. Go ahead and unmute. Anna, excuse me.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm a nerd who asks a lot of questions. I've got a couple questions that I've gotten from people. One of them being, what do they do to register if they do not have an ID? What do they need to have as an alternative, especially with first-time voters? A lot of kids that are 18, this is their first cycle, and they don't have a driver's license yet. So what can they use and how do they do it? And then the next question I have is, when do you expect our ballots to come in the mail? Like, what's the date range? Because on the website, I think it doesn't have a range for Clark County.
As far as mail ballot delivery, we have deadlines right now that we're giving the general public. Overseas ballots will definitely go out within 45 days before the election. Out-of-state ballots will go 40 days, and the local ballots will go out 20 days. Now, I said those are deadlines. If the printer is ready, we certainly want to get that mail ballot out to voters as soon as possible, so we'll send it out. There's a very good chance that they'll go out much earlier than those dates that I indicate. But I don't want to proactively give that date. We're working with our printer directly now. As soon as we have those dates, we'll make it public. I'll be on the media, and we'll be making presentations, and it'll definitely be on our website. So we'll have that information. As far as somebody who wants to register, they still can up until that October 6th deadline. They don't need a Nevada driver's license or ID to do it on paper. They need to put the last 4 of their social on there and provide that information. We'll still bump it up against Social Security when we send it up north for that voter registration. If they're doing it in person, they could have an alternate ID, such as a passport, such as anything with their photo on it and their name, and then they'll need identification to show their residential address. But there's still plenty of opportunity for them to register without the Nevada driver's license or ID.
Do they have to hand deliver that somewhere?
They can mail it, but it has to be postmarked by October 6th.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
Awesome. Any other questions? Any other questions? It is, if I heard correctly, Joseph, and this is my words, not yours, there's literally no excuses not to vote, because if you're registered, you're going to get a ballot in the mail. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, you did.
So you're going to get it in the mail. So as long as you check your mail, you're going to get a ballot, which you can then fill out, and you have the choice to mail it in or drop it off, and or emphasis on or go stand in line at the early voting or the day of voting as well.
Yes, but we strongly encourage voters, make use of the mail ballot. We went through a lot of working with the legislature. That's the safest way to do it in order to avoid getting into large groups and exposing yourself to the possibility of the pandemic. However, the in-person opportunities are there. We just want you to cast your ballot. Don't lose your voice in the community. Be sure and cast your ballot.
Most definitely.
Absolutely, that's very important that you make your voice heard, whether you choose to do so in person. If you want to vote in person, the early voting is a great opportunity because the lines aren't as long. You can go to any of the voting sites. So take advantage of those opportunities and cast your ballot. I just want to, before we close out, I want to add that I guess the Barry and Joe show are available for opportunities at any of your businesses and to talk about whether it be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to talk about this, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. People think, you know, there's no signature verification for the mail-in ballots. There's absolutely signature verification for that. So it's going to be safe. It's going to be secure. The voting sites, the in-person voting sites will have sanitation. You can find out where those voting sites are going to be by going either to the Clark County website, Joe's website, or you can also go to the Secretary of State's website. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Everybody needs to make their voice heard. It's part of why we live here in the United States. So please, everybody get out and vote and take part in our election.
Awesome. And I appreciate you both, gentlemen, for all of that information. Just to echo again, there's literally no excuse not to vote. You can either do it by paper and hand it in, or day of. And I emphasize or because there was a very high profile candidate, elected official who indicated that you can mail in and then go vote again. And I don't think that's okay. Unless I'm mistaken, Joe, you and Barry are the experts. It is an or situation. It's not a both situation. Is that correct?
That is correct. And that
All
would
right.
be legal action by any voter, but we have
Just
safety.
wanted to be sure. A high profile person said mail it in, then go anywhere. I said, wait a minute.
No.
That doesn't sound right to me. But, you know, high school was the worst 6 years of my life. So I want to make sure I got that correct. Because also it is not lost on me that folks that look like me a few years ago did a whole lot of work by marching, bleeding, and dying so that folks that look like me could vote. And so I'm very happy to know that here in Nevada, which is where I believe most of, not all of us are, there literally is no excuse not to take advantage of that opportunity, regardless of your feeling about any particular or given set of candidates. Please let your voice be heard. Do not be silent, because silence is in fact acceptance. So with that being said, I'm gonna get off my soapbox and move forward to thank again Barry and Joseph for your time and sharing this valuable information. I want to thank both of our political candidates that joined us today for being here. And I'd like to thank all of our speaker, Tori, Talk to Tori, the Location Ninja, for sharing, as well as Monique and Angel and Kalila for sharing as well. And where did she go? Where did she go? Where did she go? Oh, Letitia, there you are. I almost messed up. Letitia, thank you. And if you didn't see it, Michael put in the chat, he definitely wants to visit the location. So make sure that you connect with him because he wants to make sure that he visits as well. One last time, folks, I know I've said it at least 6, 7, 8 times. If you have not already, please put your information in the chat. Also, the reason that's important is because you can also save the chat. So if you're on a PC like myself, you open up the chat feature, there's a button with the 3 dots near the bottom right that says more. When you click on save chat, you can save all the information. If you're on a mobile device, you can definitely screenshot all the information as well. So I encourage all of us to save the information, reach out to the various folks here, make sure that we maintain these relationships with folks. Like, for example, I'm going to be contacting Letitia as well to get more information on that organization. I'm definitely going to be reaching out to Maria because she reached out to me, because there's some things I think we can do together working with the senior community, helping folks to get their last will and testament put in order. So thank you for Maria for reaching out, and we're going to all connect. So when we do that though, folks, I always encourage folks, in closing, the thing you're not going to do is call up on each other and say, hey, I'm Darren, I was at Coffee and Commerce, buy my widget. Don't do that. That's rude. No one likes that. But we will say, call each other and say, hey, we met at, you laugh at Matt, but it happens. We will call each other and say, hey, I was at Coffee and Commerce. I liked what you had to say. I'd love to continue that conversation either over coffee or by Zoom or whatever way is safe and comfortable, so that we can get to know one another, build those relationships. And the worst case scenario is that we can refer business to one another. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Darren Mitchell on behalf of the Urban Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for joining us, and good morning.